Rita,
Oh, iya Ibu.
silahkan ya. Kita,
Ya,
Tuh, siap.
Pak Asra, Pak Presiden saya belum keangkat ke hostnya, nggak apa-apa.
Ya, bentar, bentar. Ya,
Oke, siap.
Pak
Ye.
Fuad. Oke, ini ya.
Pak Pres bisa bersuara, Pak Presiden?
Oke, sudah.
Halo, Assalamualaikum.
Oke, Alhamdulillah, siap-siap. Ya, Bapak.
Baik, saya kira bisa dimulai ya, Bapak Ibu. Silahkan.
Sebentar, yang itu Bapak yang narsum, apakah sudah ke atas kan? Narsum? Sudah masuk kok katanya Miss Evanya.
Bentar.
Ini dicari dulu, biar naik dulu Bapak.
Nama siapa ya nama?
Ya, makanya saya juga nyari. Miss Tita, mohon dibantu pakai akun apa beliau ya?
Juga aku.
Ini juga saya cari-cari belum nemu. Apa Eva, apa Maria, sebentar ya.
Eva Maria Invenger, betul?
Ya,
Iya betul betul betul. Eva Maria saya juga ketemu Invenger betul
Oke.
Bapak. Mohon
Ya,
dinaikkan Bapak. Nggih siap.
oke. Ya,
Nggih.
dah.
Oke siap. Oke siap monggo.
mana Pak Sulis? Sudah bisa dimulai?
Bisa? Bisa.
Oke. Segala. Kenapa nih? Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alhamdulillah. Selamat sore Bapak Ibu peserta webinar kelima Forum Komunikasi Nasional MGMP Matematika SMP. Bapak
Siapa nih yang?
mic-nya. Mohon maaf Bu Rita. Mic-nya dinyalakan. Ya. Saya ulang. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Selamat sore Bapak Ibu peserta webinar yang kelima Forum Komunikasi Nasional Matematika SMP. Bapak Ibu peserta dipersilahkan untuk segera memasuki ruang Zoom meeting karena kegiatan webinar akan segera dimulai. Yang belum masuk, monggo dipersilahkan untuk segera masuk ya. Dan mohon untuk host ya, untuk meng-unmute. Kemudian kepada seluruh peserta dan segenap pengurus, semoga senantiasa sehat dalam rahmat dan lindungan Allah Subhanahu wa taala. Semoga damai sejahtera senantiasa menyertai kita semua. Salam Om Swastiastu, Nama Budaya, Salam Kebajikan. Kepada yang terhormat Bapak Nur Aziz MPD selaku Ketua Forum Komunikasi Nasional MGMP Matematika SMP, yang terhormat Bapak Mohfahur Rohman MPD selaku Presiden Matematika Nusantara, yang terhormat Miss Eva Maria Invenger selaku Keynote Speaker kegiatan webinar, Kemudian tak lupa yang terhormat kepada seluruh peserta seminar online yang hadir pada webinar sore hari ini yang berbahagia. Semoga senantiasa dirahmati Allah Subhanahu wa taala. Alhamdulillah, puji dan syukur. Alhamdulillah, puji syukur kami panjatkan kehadirat Allah Subhanahu wa taala karena atas ridhonya kita masih bisa berkumpul bersama-sama untuk mendapatkan ilmu dari para narasumber hebat yang luar biasa meskipun hanya lewat daring. Webinar kita pada kali ini mengusung tema Empowering Mathematics Education Through Adaptive Learning. Ya. Sebelum memulai acara ini, izinkan saya, Rita Supriyanti, selaku pembawa acara, untuk menyampaikan susunan acara kegiatan ini. Namun sebelum saya bacakan susunan acara, ada pantun untuk Bapak Ibu semua, semoga berkenan. Jauh pulau dari Malaka, pergi haji ke tanah. Jauh pulau dari Malaka, pergi haji ke kota Mekah. Dengan bismillah acara dibuka, semoga semuanya mendapatkan berkah. Amin.
Amin. Cakep.
Amin.
Salam B2M2MN, belajar berbagi, memotivasi, menginspirasi bersama Matematika Nusantara. Ya.
Siap.
Baiklah, adapun susunan acara kegiatan webinar kali ini dengan tema Empowering Mathematics Education Through Adaptive Learning atau memberdayakan pendidikan matematika melalui pembelajaran adaptif, dengan susunan acara yang pertama adalah pembukaan, kedua lagu Indonesia Raya, kemudian sambutan Ketua Matematika Nusantara, sambutan Ketua FKN MGMP Matematika SMP yang sekaligus membuka acara webinar, kemudian pembacaan doa, penutup, ya, baru dilanjut dengan penyajian materi webinar yang dipandu oleh moderator Mbak Pastitita Ayu Laksmiwati dan sebagai keynote speaker Miss Eva Maria Invenger. Kemudian dilanjutkan dengan acara tanya jawab dan terakhir adalah penutup acara. Untuk mempersingkat waktu, baiklah acara kegiatan webinar sore kali ini kita buka bersama-sama dengan membaca basmalah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Semoga acara bisa berjalan dengan lancar. Untuk selanjutnya, acara yang kedua yaitu menyanyikan lagu Indonesia Raya yang akan dipandu oleh Ibu Dwi Karyati. Monggo. Terima kasih peserta diharapkan duduk kembali dan kembali ke acara. Untuk acara selanjutnya yaitu sambutan dari Presiden Matematika Nusantara yang akan disampaikan oleh Bapak Muhammad Fatkur Rohman MPD. Kepada Bapak Muhammad Fatkur Rohman, kami persilahkan.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat sore,
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Bapak
wabarakatuh.
Ibu sekalian, peserta webinar pada sore kali ini. Alhamdulillah segala puji kita memanjatkan kehadirat Allah Tuhan Yang Maha Esa, karena pada kesempatan kali ini kita masih diberikan nikmat kesempatan, nikmat kesehatan, sehingga kita bisa mengikuti acara webinar pada kesempatan kali ini untuk meningkatkan kompetensi kita selaku pendidik atau selaku guru. Bapak Ibu sekalian, saat ini Kemdikbud sudah merilis ya pengelolaan kinerja guru yang berbasis platform Merdeka Mengajar ya. Berdasarkan Permen PAN RB nomor 1 tahun 2023 ya, sekarang ini terjadi transformasi ya tentang jabatan fungsional ya. Di sana dikatakan bahwa sekarang ini ya untuk mendapatkan angka kredit itu tidak lagi usul dupak ya. Dengan tidak adanya usul dupak itu Bapak sekalian, terminologi PKB ya, pengembangan keprofesian berkelanjutan, nah sekarang sudah tidak ada lagi. Artinya Bapak Ibu sekalian, ketika nanti mau naik pangkat ya, publikasi ilmiah yang dulu menjadi syarat itu tidak lagi diperlukan. Misal kalau untuk ke 4A, tidak lagi kita memerlukan PTK, tidak lagi publikasi ilmiah, tidak lagi membutuhkan jurnal gitu ya. Namun begitu Bapak Ibu sekalian peserta webinar pada kesempatan hari ini, walaupun PKB itu sekarang sudah dihilangkan dari angka kredit ya, tetapi guru tetap harus meningkatkan kompetensinya ya, tidak bisa gara-gara PKB sudah tidak ada terus kita lengah untuk tidak belajar. Mengapa begitu? Di Permendikbud nomor 15 tahun 2018 ya, tugas pokok guru itu adalah memang betul salah satunya mengajar, tepatnya 5M ya, merencanakan pembelajaran, melaksanakan pembelajaran, mengevaluasi, membimbing ekstrakurikuler, kemudian yang terakhir melaksanakan tugas tambahan, gitu ya. Nah, di samping itu guru wajib itu mengembangkan kompetensinya, itu di pasal lain begitu ya. Jadi walaupun PKB sudah tidak ada, tetap guru wajib mengembangkan kompetensinya. Nah, sekarang ya, walaupun PKB tidak ada, ternyata sekarang Kemdikbudristek dalam fitur pengelolaan kinerja itu ada tambahan RHK, yaitu pengembangan kompetensi. Nah itu ya, ini lagi dibahas baik di Facebook, di Instagram, di TikTok ya. Sekarang lagi hangat-hangatnya tentang pengembangan kompetensi yang mungkin Bapak Ibu sudah tahu ya, ada 18 item sumber pengembangan kompetensi ya. Itu nanti dikonversi menjadi poin-poin ya. Jadi nanti itu Bapak Ibu guru diharapkan mengumpulkan 30 poin dalam pengembangan diri gitu ya. Walaupun formatnya sekarang itu berbeda ya, berbeda antara PKB dengan pengembangan kompetensi, tetapi pada hakikatnya itu dua-duanya adalah kedua-duanya adalah dalam rangka meningkatkan kompetensi Bapak Ibu guru. Oleh karena itu Bapak sekalian, dalam rangka itulah ini jadi penting ya. Jadi penting karena guru tidak boleh berhenti belajar ya. Kata Ki Hajar bahwa belajar itu adalah sepanjang hayat. tidak boleh berhenti. Kalau berani mengajar harus berani belajar gitu kan. Gitu. Dengan demikian Bapak sekalian, walaupun PKB itu sudah tidak dipakai, angka kredit berdasarkan PKB tidak dipakai lagi, tetap kita harus meningkatkan kompetensi ya. Nanti itu sebagai bukti kinerja kita ya akan dinilai oleh atasan atau dinilai kepala sekolah apakah kita sebagai guru memenuhi kriteria 32 poin itu gitu ya. Oke, Bapak sekalian, kali ini kita bekerja sama dengan apa namanya dengan Mestita ya, kemudian dengan Forum Komunikasi MGMP SMP Nasional dengan Matematika Nusantara kita berkolaborasi untuk menyelenggarakan webinar ini. Oke, saya cukupkan sampai di sini. Saya mengucapkan selamat untuk para peserta untuk mengikuti webinar pada kesempatan kali ini. Bila ada salah-salah kata, saya mohon maaf. Saya akhiri. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Masih mute tuh, Rita.
Terima kasih saya ucapkan kepada Bapak Presiden Matematika Nusantara, Bapak Muhammad Fakhur Rohman, ya, atas pencerahannya bahwa kita sebagai guru tidak boleh berhenti belajar karena belajar sepanjang hayat, ya Pak ya. Untuk acara selanjutnya adalah sambutan dari Ketua Forum Komunikasi Nasional MGMP Matematika SMP yang sekaligus membuka acara webinar yang pada kesempatan ini akan disampaikan oleh Bapak Sekjen FKN yaitu Bapak Asra MPD. Kepada yang terhormat Bapak Asra, kami persilahkan.
Terima kasih. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Selamat sore Bapak Ibu, salam sejahtera untuk kita semua.
Selamat sore
Salam,
juga Pak.
Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan. Yang terhormat Bapak Muhammad Fakhur Rohman MPD, selaku Ketua Presiden dari Matematika Nusantara. Yang terhormat Ketua FKN MGMP Matematika SMP yang kelihatannya belum sempat bergabung, tadi sedang sejalan Bapak Ibu. Berikut dari Miss Eva Maria Ivander, founder Mat Arena, Austria. Yang terhormat Miss Pastita Ayu Lasniwati, PhD student of Johannes Kepler University, Austria. Yang terhormat Bapak Ibu pejabat organisasi, baik pada FKN MGMP Matematika SMP maupun pada Matematika Nusantara. Dan yang saya hormati, saya banggakan Bapak Ibu peserta webinar pada hari ini, baik sebagai guru, jenjang SMP, SMA, maupun pengawas, kepala sekolah, dosen maupun mahasiswa. Pertama-tama mari kita panjatkan puji syukur kehadirat Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, Tuhan Yang Maha Kuasa, yang telah melimpahkan rahmat kesehatan, kesempatan kepada kita semua sehingga pada siang hari ini, sore hari ini, kita berjumpa dalam acara webinar hari ini dengan mengusung tema tentang satu aplikasi, yakni Empowering Mathematics Education through Adaptive Learning. Mohon maaf kalau kurang tepat. Sudah lama tidak mengenal bahasa Inggris. Baik Bapak Ibu, bahwa webinar ini terlaksana berkat kerjasama dari 3 organisasi boleh kita sebut, 2 organisasi profesi nasional dan 1 organisasi yang ada di Austria. Oleh karena itu, perkenankan saya mewakili pengurus FKN MGMP Matematika SMP menyampaikan pertama-tama ucapan terima kasih kepada beberapa. Pertama, terima kasih kepada Pak Ketua Presiden Matematika Nusantara, Bapak Muhammad Fatur Rahman, MPD beserta pengurusnya. Ada Budi Yasinto yang alhamdulillah sudah berkolaborasi dengan kami di FKN dalam kegiatan ini yang insya Allah bisa berjalan lancar dan sukses. Berikut, thank you for Miss Eva Maria Evanya, Founder Mat Arena, about your contribution, your presentation that will be explained for all presentation, all participant in this webinar today. Berikut terima kasih kepada Miss Pastita Ayu Laksminati yang telah membantu mengkonsultasi kami, FKN, Matematika Nusantara, dan termasuk pendiri dari Mat Arena tadi, sehingga alhamdulillah Bapak Ibu kita bisa selenggarakan kegiatan ini, yang kami tahu bahwa Miss kita juga cukup sibuk dengan kegiatan studi PhD-nya di sana di Austria. Berikutnya Bapak Ibu, terima kasih kepada teman-teman pengurus FKN yang sudah berkolaborasi aktif di kepanitiaan sejak persiapan sampai insya Allah akan setelah pasca kegiatan ini juga masih mengurus tentang sertifikat. Alhamdulillah kolaborasi kita mudah-mudahan bisa terjalin baik dan tetap konsisten pada kegiatan-kegiatan berikutnya. Dan berikut Bapak Ibu, terima kasih kepada seluruh partisipan hari ini, peserta webinar hari ini yang sudah bergabung meramaikan kegiatan kita di webinar internasional yang mengusung tema yang telah kami bacakan tadi, yang empowering mathematics education through adaptive learning, yang kurang lebih mungkin maksudnya adalah mengembangkan pendidikan matematik melalui pembelajaran adaptif. Mudah-mudahan kegiatan ini bisa memberikan dampak positif seperti yang oleh Pak Presiden MN tadi, bahwa setelah regulasi-regulasi terbaru ada perubahan-perubahan terkini yang saya yakin juga Bapak Ibu sedang menanti di sana, penyusunan RHK melalui aplikasi PMM yang barangkali produk dari kegiatan hari ini berupa sertifikat bisa digunakan sebagai salah satu yang bisa menambah poin untuk mendapatkan standar minimal 32 dan maksimal 128 poin. Harapan kami sebagai panitia penyelenggara, Bapak Ibu, selain kita berharap mendapatkan sertifikat, kami juga berharap Bapak Ibu bisa menyimak kegiatan ini sehingga benar-benar bisa menambah pemahaman kita tentang pendidikan matematik. Di tengah-tengah kita diharapkan untuk menerapkan kurikulum merdeka, karena kami tahu bahwa kami sendiri baru mengawali di kelas awal, mungkin beberapa Bapak Ibu yang lain sudah masuk pada kelas yang kedua dan bahkan ada kelas ketiga. Yang oleh karena itu, walaupun kami sadari bahwa pada proses penyampaian materi oleh narasumber kita, Misalnya tadi, akan menyampaikannya berbahasa Inggris, tapi Bapak Ibu jangan khawatir, ada Miss Tita yang insya Allah akan bisa memberikan beberapa penjelasan, penerjemahan, beberapa istilah-istilah yang sekiranya menurut kita itu adalah tidak familiar. Sehingga Bapak Ibu dengan demikian materi kita benar-benar bisa memberi dampak pada secara teoritis dan praktis pada praktek pembelajaran di kelas. Dan oleh karena itu kami juga berharap pada saat penyampaian materi nanti Bapak Ibu bisa merumuskan beberapa pertanyaan yang akan disampaikan pada narasumber kita pada sesi tanya jawab di 30 menit terakhir sebelum kegiatan berakhir. Bapak Ibu, kami sebagai panitia penyelenggara menyadari bahwa kita adalah seperti biasa manusia yang tidak luput dari kehilapan, kekeliruan, dan oleh karena itu kami menyadari bahwa sejak di pendaftaran, mungkin juga pada saat setelah yang ini, termasuk juga pada balik sertifikat, ada hal-hal yang kurang maksimal yang kami layani Bapak Ibu mohon dimaklumi karena keterbatasan kita semua sehingga hal-hal yang kita tidak inginkan itu senantiasa terjadi. Baik Bapak Ibu, mohon maaf Pak Ketua kami lagi dalam perjalanan. Izinkan saya mewakili FKN MGMP Matematika SMP beserta izin dari Bapak Ibu sekalian sebagai peserta dengan ucapan Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Kegiatan webinar pada hari ini 17 Januari 2024 dengan tema Empowering Mathematics Education Through Adaptive Learning dibuka secara resmi. Terima kasih Bapak Ibu, demikian apa yang dapat kami sampaikan, kekurangannya mohon dimaafkan, kami tutup dengan ucapan billahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Unmute Bu Rita.
Ya, terima kasih. Terima kasih Pak Asra yang telah memberikan sambutan yang luar biasa. Semoga Bapak Ibu tetap terinspirasi untuk mengikuti webinar selanjutnya. Dan Bapak Ibu mohon untuk mempersiapkan beberapa pertanyaan untuk narasumber yang hebat. Ya. Nah, untuk selanjutnya adalah pembacaan doa yang akan disampaikan oleh Bapak Haji Suyoto MPD. Kepada Bapak Haji Suyoto, kami persilahkan.
Terima kasih. Mohon izin doa kami sampaikan dengan format Muslim, untuk yang lain bisa menyesuaikan. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Hamdan syakirin. Hamdan aimin. Hamdan ni'amah wa yukafi mazidah. Ya Rabbana lakal hamdu. Kama yanbaghi li jalalikal karim wal adimi sultanik. Ya Allah, kami menundukkan kepala dan menundukkan hati kami, seraya memohon keridhaan-Mu atas segala amal kami hari ini. Terimalah ya Allah. Ampunilah kesalahan kami dan orang tua kami, guru-guru kami, dan seluruh saudara-saudara kami. Hari ini kami Forum Komunikasi Nasional MGMP Matematika memfasilitasi narasumber untuk berbagi ilmu melalui webinar pada sore hari ini. Mudahkanlah ya Allah, lancarkanlah baik narasumber di dalam berbagi ilmu maupun peserta di dalam belajar, dan catatkanlah kegiatan kami hari ini sebagai amal ibadah kami. Tetapkanlah hidayah dan taufik-Mu agar kami tidak tersesat ke jalan yang salah. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina adzabannar. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun. Wassalamun alal mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Amin, amin ya rabbal alamin. Terima kasih kepada Pak Haji Suyoto yang telah menutup acara ini dengan doa. Semoga Allah memberikan pahala yang berlipat kepada Bapak ya, untuk memberikan doa kepada kita semua. Semoga sehingga acara bisa berjalan dengan lancar. Untuk selanjutnya yaitu acara penutup. Baiklah, acara demi acara telah kita lalui. Marilah kegiatan ini kita tutup dengan membaca Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Untuk selanjutnya adalah kegiatan inti, yaitu penyajian materi webinar yang akan dipandu oleh moderator hebat Mbak Pastita Ayu Laksmiwati dengan keynote speaker adalah Miss Eva Maria Invenger. Kepada Mbak Pastita Ayu Laksamawati, kami persilahkan untuk memandu jalannya kegiatan inti ini dan untuk sekalian acara tanya jawab. Mangga pada Mbak Tita, kami persilahkan.
Baik, Ibu, terima kasih banyak. Saya mohon
Sama-sama.
izin untuk selanjutnya saya menggunakan bahasa Inggris ya, Bapak Ibu.
Oke, monggo Mbak.
Ya, uh, good morning everyone. Thank you very much, especially for Forum Komunikasi Nasional MGMP Matematika Nasional and also Matematika Nusantara for organizing this event. For Pak Nur Aziz, Pak Asra, Pak Fatkur, dan juga tim. Good morning from Austria. Actually, now it's still 9:38, so it's still morning here. We have 6-hour difference, and good afternoon in Indonesia. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan, selamat sejahtera bagi kita semua. I'd like to welcome again, dear participants. Welcome to today's education webinar on Math Arena, empowering mathematics education through adaptive learning. So before we move to the main presentations, I'd like to give a brief introduction about Math Arena and also our esteemed speaker, of course. So we will talk, the speaker will talk about Math Arena. Math Arena is an innovative application that combines adaptive learning, as Pak Asra and also Pak Fatkun mentioned previously. And it also has gamification elements to revolutionize mathematics education. So in this presentation, Miss Eva Maria will introduce the concept, features, and potential application of the Math Arena application to you, our esteemed Indonesian educators, because we here, Miss Eva Maria, we will not only have teachers, but also there is students, teachers, and also lecturers join us. And I would like to also introduce myself. Before we move to the next presentation, I'm Pastita Ayu Laksmiwati. I will serve as your moderator for this session, and we are honored to have Miss Eva Maria Invanger as our distinguished speaker, who will guide us through the innovative Math Arena application and also adaptive learning to look for its potential and opportunity of the impact on mathematics education. So I hope you will have fruitful discussion and session with Miss Eva Maria Invanger. So our main objective today are provide you with comprehensive informations, of course, with Math Arena, and also deepen your understanding about the application, in enhancing mathematics instruction, of course, how to get opportunity and get insight, and also foster a space. You will have opportunity to discuss and collaborate. And before we move to the main discussion, I would like to also explain about some rules. So previously, I saw some of participants try to share their screen. So respectfully, please kindly to make sure that you are not sharing your screen, and also please mute your microphone while the speaker is speaking. So thank you very much for your kind cooperation. And also let's take a quick look at our agenda for today. We will have around an hour for the speaker presentation and 25 minutes for Q&A. And now, without further ado, I would like to introduce our esteemed speaker. Maybe Pak Sulistiana, could you please also make Miss Eva Maria as to spotlight Miss Eva Maria so the participant can see her beautiful face. Pak Sulistiana bisa minta tolong untuk Ibu Eva Maria di spotlight.
Oke, sebentar.
Iya.
Oke, sudah.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so welcome Miss Eva Maria Invanger. So Miss Eva Maria Invanger, she is a teacher trainer, also a PhD candidate, the same university with me from Johannes Kepler University, Linz, Austria. And most importantly, she is a founder of Math Arena, startup from Austria focusing on education. So you will have more detailed information about Math Arena, and also she will provide insights into Math Arena application and how it can enhance mathematics education through adaptive learning. So Miss Eva Maria Invanger, the screen is yours.
Thank you
Please.
very much for the kind introduction, and good morning from Austria and good afternoon to you in Indonesia. I'm so grateful for the big interest. It honors us a lot, and I hope I will meet all your expectations. I hope also you can understand my English. I will give my best.
And also, I'm sorry for interrupting, Miss Eva Maria. I forgot to mention that we have nearly more than 60 participants on YouTube channel. So we are not only have nearly 500 participants here, but also on YouTube channel. Yeah, please continue.
Thank you very much. That's great. So I'll start sharing my screen so that you can also follow and see what I'm talking about. I hope you can see it now.
Yes.
Perfect. So Math Arena, you will get the answer why we are called this way at the end of the presentation. Our goal is to make learning math enjoyable, and we are trying to reach this goal by making it playful through smartphones. I don't know how your students are, but Austrian students really still love smartphones and tablets. So that was why we chose the smartphone to get their attention and to provide information that they can not just play Angry Birds or Fruit Slice and all the other games, but maybe also a math. So shortly about our founders team. We started as student colleagues. Now he is my husband, Gerald, and me. We studied both mathematics and theology and were very interested, or are interested in psychology, mostly learning psychology. So back then in 2013, the smartphones came out and we looked for math applications and couldn't find any. And that was when we started, maybe we can do something like it. We had the big applications in our minds like Bubble or Duolingo, maybe you know some of them. Also Runtastic, a very exciting startup from Austria too. So yes, we decided to start two teachers in our free time during the holidays to grow our idea. So if you like, I'm sharing here a QR code. You can take your tablet or your smartphone and already download it. because thanks to the support from Pastita and Yanti, we were able to release the Indonesian version last week. So we hope the beta version is working on your smartphones already. So you can try it out on your own and find out how it's working on the surface, and then we can start to move into the depth what we were thinking, what drives our choices, why we are doing what we are doing. So I said we started 2013, and the first things we did was observing our students. We are both teachers. We like to talk to our students, and so we got their problems, their struggles with mathematics. Also, then we did a lot of tutoring, so we were able to meet them as teachers in classrooms. Lots of other struggles then as a tutor, where I have 1 to 5 students, hearing the personal problems, having time for the personal problems, and also figuring out how we can find a way for them that they can deliver in school and increase their grades, be better there. So I hope everyone was able to scan the QR code who was interested. The challenges we wanted and still want to address are the big frustration of students. I don't know if it's the same in Indonesia, but in Austria and the German-speaking countries, we have lots of students who really have strong feelings like hate for it. And that's sad, because mathematics can be a really amazing and exciting subject, and this amazement we wanted to transport. That's why we chose this playful approach out of the grades and tried to give them instant reward. Afterwards, we were doing lots of literature reviews and found out, okay, this intuition was a good one. Instant rewards and instant feedback is really helping them to get better ideas and concepts and competencies for math. Also, a second part, interesting mostly for parents, the private tutoring. Nearly half of the students in Austria are looking for is quite expensive. So one main interest of ours is to give them easy access through the smartphone and also low cost. So it's really important for us to broaden the access and not to, how should I say it, get rich out of it. So our hearts really are for mathematics. And the third one, from society, the challenge is we need a lot of technicians and people competent in digitalization, and we don't have them, or not enough of them. We still need more. So one main base for this is the really understanding of this basic mathematical skills, like or also computational skills, computational thinking as a part of it. And so we hope to interest young students in logical thinking, and also in how technology is working and how it can be improved, and not just as users, but also as developers. So one would think this idea makes sense, there is a big need, so everyone is doing it. But that's not true, we found out in Europe. So we tried to figure out what is our innovation, what makes our product, our project work. So the big trends, I think known globally, are micro-learning, this AI-based learning, smart adaptive systems are already AI, so it's not just the large language models we are talking about, like ChatGPT and BART, but also the algorithm we are using behind us can be called AI. Also the mobile and remote learning, so they can learn self-directed. It was important for us that this is possible. Sometimes we are asked if we are going to AR and VR. We are still figuring out if there is any beneficial effect in that direction we can give to our students. So we are mainly focusing on those three ones. And what sets us apart from other math applications, now there are a lot out there, is we are really learner oriented. So not just students in schools, but everyone who wants to learn math should be able to do so. The second one are mini games. We have lots of algorithms, lots of procedures we want our students to learn. But how do we motivate to make them learn kind of multiplication, doing the formulas, for example, in geometry? We struggled there, and so we made a little switch and said, okay, now the motivation is not to know how rectangular is measured, but they should get points and have interact with their colleagues and find out who has more points and is the better one. Also, other directions, how they can interact, and suddenly they were really motivated. So each of these mini games we gave to our students, and maybe one nice story. A student, she was 14 or 15 back then, was angling for a final exam, and she really struggled with parabolas, the formula, the term, and yeah, to get the picture in her head. So we have in upper secondary school, so we are addressing lower and upper secondary school, we had this game for polynomial functions. You can draw them and get feedback if it's correct or not. And she played it, I think, 3 or 4 times with her friend, and she won. And 4 years later, right before the final exam, they came to the same topic again, and she saw this y is x square, and saw the formula and said, I don't know how it's called, but it looks like this one. So she has this picture in her head. And that's our goal, to give people pictures and to answer them the why behind it and what they can do with this mathematical knowledge. And that was for us one point where we said, okay, what we are doing makes sense and it helps people, so we go on. And this hasn't stopped until now. We always, again, get this feedback, and it's really great. So this learner-oriented focus, the mini games, and of course, this adaptive learning difficulty. The biggest problem, the biggest struggle for students is the different time they need to get concepts. I think for us as teachers, everyone knows this problem. In Austria, we have 25 to 30 students in one classroom, and we have the really good ones who are bored by our explanations because, they start and know what we are talking about. Then we have a big medium group. They need some time, but they get the concept over some trainings and explanations. And then we have those who have really struggles and are our low achieving students. And sometimes it's really hard to find a way to address them, to help them to move on. And this heterogeneous groups we wanted to address, and that was when the idea started. Everyone has his and her own smartphone. So maybe we can get the data and find the algorithm that matches the tasks we have to the students' needs. And we started with an easy one and found out it really worked. So we gave it to students, we gave it to parents, we gave it to teacher trainers, also publishers, and everyone feels this. Yes, if I'm correct, the level is increasing, the tasks are getting more difficult in a motivating way. So it's not I'm answering one correct and it's getting much more difficult, but just the level is increasing. Yes, that's what helps us to meet this frustration, because frustrating is when I'm overwhelmed or when I'm underwhelmed. And with this adaptive algorithm, we try to reach their approximative learning zone where they can develop and get a new idea and kind of train old ideas and remember, refresh the memory. One big achievement just 2 months ago was in our country, people are very, let's say, responsible in education. So they really try to find out if technology is working in education. They are not as open as you seem to be in your country. I'm really amazed. That's great. With technology. So it was a big achievement for us that our society now is seeing what we are doing and finds it worth to appreciate it with a prize. I already told you we are focusing on upper secondary school level for high school final exams and bridge courses. That's where we started because it's the harder part for the technological development to find out if we can deal with functions and the writings and so on. It worked, so we moved on also to lower secondary school, and that's the version you have right now. It's for 10 to 14 year students in our country, so grade 5 to grade 8 or 9, and apprenticeships as well. Interesting part is this junior version, lots of parents and adults are downloading it right now in Austria and Germany and trying out and to getting better in mathematics as well, not just students who have to. So that's a sign for us that it's really motivating to learn with our application. Here I want to thank you, Pastita and Yanti. Without you, it wouldn't be possible to sit here and to talk about our idea in such a big audience. Pastita, we met at Linz University and talked about our ideas, and yeah, we found out we have a lot in common and are really burning for mathematics and teaching mathematics. And Yanti did the big part of translating afterwards. Pastita found her. So she you both did an amazing work that we are already able to release this version. Maybe if you're already clicking through our app, please, sometimes there are still errors, but we said it's much easier to get the concept if you are able to try it out on your own. So if there are some errors, we know we are working on it still, and it will grow better over the next weeks. Here you can see some of our user interfaces. We have sorry, different parts in our application. The first one is just the mathematics topics. So you don't need a level, you don't need a grade. It's easy access, low threshold interaction. You just can scroll through, pick one and start. You get the easiest questions if you're answering everything correctly. You're moving on to the next level and so on. If you're struggling, then you keep in your level, and with the explanations, you can find out which concepts aren't that correctly in your brain, built down in your brain. And also we're working on making kind of terms where they are explained more precisely and in more detail, but the explanations we're giving during the quizzes are just short, because we want to really focus on one problem and help them to concentrate. Then here we have the mini games. I'll show you later. Here you find a school book application for Indonesian school books or curriculum. We will work on it the next month, I think. For Austria, that you can imagine what it is meaning. We are cooperating with the publisher. They have 4 different math books teachers can choose from, and they all have a different structure, of course. So we have our content, and then the authors can pick and choose for each chapter which questions or which tasks they want to have in it. It's printed down in the textbooks with QR codes, so the student can access it via the school book, but also through our application. And as Pastita mentioned, gamification is one big part, because it makes much more fun if we can gain medals and points and stars. And this is the gamification part. Here you can see the feedback I get for a topic, how many questions I still haven't answered correctly. And we have for the, considering the memory loss we all have, it's not enough to answer a question correctly once, but you have to do it twice and a third time to be a profi in it, to be a real pro. Here you see one of the mini games. It's about angles. They are learning here not the fine mechanics by drawing with pencils and the triangle, but they learn the concept of what do I have to do if I'm going over 180 degrees, for example. How big will the angle be? Also, one game will come out where we have to estimate angles, because this is one competence we really can use in our daily lives. Here you see one task. You see, we can't understand the Indonesian language. That's why we couldn't answer it correctly. So in a quiz, you get 10 tasks, and you get immediate feedback. Here you get the explanation, and here you can move on to the next question. Also, you see here the status of the task, if you have answered it correctly once, twice, or 3 times. And if it's answered 3 times, then it will be picked almost, the probability is almost 0 that it will be picked. So it's not just about the level, but also about the tasks if you have already solved it correctly. That's a mini game about a geometry, eras, formulas, where you can figure out the structure of a formula. So if I see here is a square, then I have a multiplication, then it must be something like an era, can't be a volume because I missed the third part. That's how I can use it as a teacher as well, not just a student, but as a teacher in the classroom, presenting one task and explaining what are the differences and how can I decide which formula I have here. And if they get this idea, they can focus really more easily on what they should look for, or where they should look at, because that's almost always the real problem we found out during the tutoring. And of course, I want to know how busy and brave and correct I was. So we have a profile where I get my feedback, which chapters or topics I was working in, and how many questions I did and how many correctly. In the next month, there also will be kind of bar where we can compare all our users and that they can figure out how well they are situated in their math competencies and knowledge. Then we gave our application to students, and the first thing was, oh, I'm struggling with this calculation. It would be really great if I could draw on it. Would this be possible? So the next 2 weeks, we worked on it with our developers, and now it's really possible to make side calculations on the smartphone over the task itself. And if I have solved it, I can go out of the notes function and give the answer and move on. Here you see the medals. Maybe one can see that we really like mathematics because we enjoy Pi Day. I don't know if you are celebrating it in Indonesia, but in Austria, it's kind of becoming a nerd thing to meet and have a pie, for example, and things like that. So gamification really in the depth. And students are enjoying it. So it's kind of amazing to see this. And we already have seen this picture, but there should be, yes, hidden a video, because our latest project since ChatGPT came out is how we can integrate AI chatbots as well in a sensible way, a supporting way, so that students don't get a solver and don't think on their own, but how they can learn from it and with it if they don't have access to teachers and tutors. Yes, it's answering in German because it was the first version. We were optimizing. We are now working on doing the same for the English part and also the Indonesian version, but we still have to figure out how it's really following our instructions and not switching in the languages. So one of the questions is, students always ask us, why do I need Pythagorean theorem? It's not interesting. Where do I need, where does it come from? So this making sense of something also needs stories behind it. And in Austria, teachers don't have time for this. That's why we decided to put it in our app, because if they are at home or going by bus to their homes or through the school, they have time and often are bored, and then they can do something like it. And if I want to encourage them to do this as a teacher, I can use it for assessment as well, if they're showing me they did some of those dialogues, for example, because my goal is to encourage them to think about math and think with math. So here I get examples that I can solve. Also, I can ask for explanations how to solve things. Okay, this is taking long. Let me see. Yeah, here we are trying to trick it by asking a stupid question. Of course, young students tend to do this. And we really made some quite strong limits. And then he is saying, oh, just please call me, ask me questions about mathematics, nothing else. And here I let you read. What we find amazing is how the AI is answering why mathematics is important. We have lots of teachers who can't answer this question for the students. They really struggle with it. We find it in teacher training. And then I try to help them by giving them some explanations why it is so important to do math and to learn it in school. And yeah, artificial intelligence is doing a quite amazing job here by providing us as teachers with informations we can give our students, or the ideas we can give them, which questions they could and should ask there. We were asked about Khan Academy. You, I think, all know Khan Academy is doing kind of a similar thing, implementing a big AI robot, a robot tutor, kind of. And so they are asking why we are still going on with this. Because, yes, they have lots more resources and lots more expertise than we have. But our approach is a kind of different, because they want to replace tutors and teachers. It's okay, but we don't want to do it. We want to foster, to support the social interaction and social connection between students, peers, and between students and teachers, because our concept of learning, it's a social process. So we are seeing our application in classrooms not as every student is sitting in front of the smartphone and not communicating anymore with anybody else, just with our tasks we are giving. But on the contrary, the best way it is working, and we already are trying it out and doing research about it, if they're taking one device for 2 or 3 students and have a task and then start discussing about it. Because then they're communicating, they're exchanging their concepts, they're working with it together. And this together is so important because it really helps to memorize this. Doing it just on a smartphone on my own is helpful at home, but it isn't helpful in the classroom. There we should use this resource of communication and cooperation, because it makes much more impressions on us, and as I said, helps us memorize this, talking about it, this listening to somebody else and getting this idea he or she is talking about. So our current milestones, you see where we are right now, what we want to achieve in the next month and years, that you see we aren't just stopping here, but still have lots of ideas where to go. Is we want to have kind of commenting feature where students can help each other online, so that I can ask a question or give a comment or link to a video, for example, that helped me to get the concept, something like in this direction. But it's kind of difficult to figure out how to supervise this. So that's why it isn't released yet. Then the second point is the most important for our name, because we want to give out the dueling version, so that I can match with a friend or somebody else. So an Austrian student can match with an Indonesian student, and they get the same questions on the same level. And then they can find out which one who answered the most, and kind of a competition, gaming competition there. And that's why we call it arena. So we're stepping into the arena with others, and maybe some idea is to take the big and great mathematicians as well. And there are the really difficult questions then for our high achieving students to still motivate them. This dueling version, we are working on it right now, and we hope to release it in spring, so April or May, maybe it will be out. And we are working on a newsletter as well, so if you want information about it, please join our newsletter, then you will get the information when it's released and when you can try out the beta version again. Also, of course, the core of our application is this adaptive algorithm, this adaptive system, and we are still working on it. My whole PhD is about this topic, to find out what is possible, what is helpful for a learning, what is fostering and scaffolding it. And so we aren't finished there as well. Then we have different directions where we can expand to, because we are asked to do so, like the textbook integration in Austria. Also, we have companies in Austria who are looking for technicians and helping us to digitize schools. It still takes time. For example, we're now talking with Czech school administrators. They're far more into the 3D printing, for example. In Austria, this always takes some time to find or get the appreciation and to overcome some struggles here. Also, the translation into English version is going on. The 6th grade for Indonesian schools is in progress right now. A Croatian and the Turkish version are in progress. So now we are looking into what different school systems, different cultures are needing. So we really would like your feedback, what you're thinking about user interface, user experience, about the task also. How we can improve and meet your needs as well in your school surroundings, classrooms, and other situations where you would like to use our application. Yeah, and the technologies I already talked about, these AI features, and funded research about everything we are doing, so that we aren't just doing it by in Austria it's called by our bellies, by our intuition, but that it's really evidence-based development. At the start, I mentioned we are learner-oriented. So what does this mean? Lots of people are asking us why we are doing it, because the entering point of applications into schools are teachers. And we decided to take the slower path, because teachers' needs are important, but our goal was that our students learn something about it, and not that we help teachers to train them, because if students are learning mathematics, then we are already helping teachers. It took some time that teachers get this concept. Now they are finding out, yes, it's really working. And then the first question is, could I get the data? Can I make a classroom and get all the progress of my students? And that's where we decided to say no. And I want to explain why, because it's not that obvious. In learning overall, but much more in mathematics, we have to distinguish between training, this process of learning something, getting the concept, and afterwards the testing, the diagnosis we as teachers have to do. During training, students should explore, they should include their former experiences, get new experiences. They are working a lot with trial and error and figuring out how they should go on to get the correct concept. So here in this part, mistakes are really desirable because they are the ground, the base that we are learning on. If we aren't allowed to make mistakes during when we are learning to go by foot as a baby, and we aren't allowed to fall down, afterwards we can't go and take the steps as we should be able to. The main goal here is motivation. So motivation is everything, and hopefully to gain intrinsic motivation, because it really helps the memory. The second part, interesting for us as teachers, as I mentioned, is testing, this diagnosis, because we have to give feedback to our students, but also give feedback to the society where our young students are standing right now. So, but there we have different goals. Students have to deliver correct results, not learning progress, but learning correct results when they're doing a task. They must avoid errors, and it's mostly motivated by extrinsic motivation because they want to show they're good. So we have a different stress level. We have a different part of the brain we are addressing here. And we have to choose. We can't do both. And that's why we really stay here during the training, because when our students are trained well, they are great at testing. And our research results show this approach makes sense. It really helps them during the training process. That's why students have the whole access to their data, nobody else. And through the profile and the medals and the other feedback we are giving, they can show, yes, I have done something. So as teachers, we are able to get information out of it and to value it, to appreciate it, and also consider it for our assessment, but not automatically, because if students know the teacher is able to see what they're doing, and still if it's just the points, they are learning differently, quite differently, and we don't want that. So I don't know, Pastita, is it interesting to go into more detail about the psychological backgrounds? I don't want to bore anybody, so.
Yeah, please do so. But I would like to also remind you, you still have around 10 minutes left.
I know, and I will be finished in 10 minutes.
But yeah,
Thank you
it's
very much.
very interesting theory, especially for support teachers to understand more about pedagogical activities and also children ways of thinking.
Okay,
So
thank you for
it
the
will be
feedback.
very great. Thank you.
Then I will make a short deep dive in the cognitive load theory. It's a quite old theory, but it got to us, and we got this idea, and that's one of the, besides the adaptive testing, one of the core elements of our development, especially for user interface and user experience. Because they are concentrating as well on the learner and are looking at the learner's brain, which influences the brain has to work with. So it's not just the task itself, but the task environment too, If it's just text, it's more difficult than if you have a picture beside it, for example, or if you have colors. So this makes difference. Also, which words are chosen makes a difference in the difficulty. Building back to our adaptive system, of course. Then there are these task-learner interactions. Not each task is or not each learner is interacting the same way with the task. We have different ways to solve a task, to approach it. Some are more visual, they are doing sketches. Others are more symbolical and are their approach will be to find the right formula and answer it, not a sketch to it. And all this is impacting this cognitive load. And the theory behind it is, maybe we switch shortly to the computers. We there have the CPU, sorry, missing the English word for it. I have a load I can use. And if this load is filled with extra factors I'm not needing for the task, I just have left this part to solve the task. And that's not good, especially in mathematics, because concentration is important. We need every information and we have to process it correctly, in the correct order, in the correct way, in the correct procedure. So what we were trying to do is to decrease these casual factors so that they really can focus on the task itself and the concept of the task they're needing. So the mental load is coming mostly from the task, and so that you know where it comes in, we don't have animations, because animations take some of our cognitive load. We have colors, but decent ones, not loud or crying colors, because it's taking mental load, and so on. Also, we have this short questions, short explanations. That's all because of this cognitive load theory. As I mentioned, we have done some research already and will go on with lots of support from various universities. We're really happy that also math educational researchers are really interested in our project and our approach. What we can find out is, you see here the details, increased motivation, and they are spending more study time on mathematics. And that's great, because 5 minutes a day helps them to increase their brain structure, their ability to concentrate, their memory, and so on. So the performance really improved during our survey. And it's not the smartphone that does the trick, but journeys that find a way to give them more motivation. And if the motivation comes with paper and pen, it's great and does the trick. And if it's coming with smartphones or computers, it's the same. One really important part for us, not just in Europe, as if I get it correctly, is data protection. So we don't collect data. We have to do in a minimum to give them user access, that they can get their user account on different devices, for example, that they can exchange between private smartphone and school-based laptop or a tablet. Because there are some issues, or to change between iOS and Android and the web version, that they don't lose their achievements. Also, we get back the correct answers, but everything is anonymous. So we can't match, for example, the answers with email addresses we're getting, because Google and Android, Google and Apple are doing this line there, and we are really happy about it. So what we have is a complete collection of right and wrong answers and the time that is taken, but not for each user, but maybe for a country. And maybe that's important for you to know as well. We just will use this anonymized data to do educational research. If somebody is interested to do more precise research, we have some ways to figure out via license codes, but still we aren't interested to get users connected with their feedback precisely because of that what I told you before with this training and testing mode. So I think I'm finished. Now you see our promoting video, what is explained in short.
I'm sorry, Miss Eva Maria Invanger, but we cannot hear the
You
voice,
can't
the
hear.
sound. Yeah. Could you please
Thank you.
reshare again and then please checklist the sound.
Where can I do that?
Stop sharing, I guess, and then try to repeat the sharing screen with checklist the share computer sound, if it is possible. It will be very interesting to enjoy.
Okay, will it be? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to take your time here. Then I'm trying again. Now I see. Thanks for the explanation. I haven't had to do this until now. So you're seeing it?
Introducing
Perfect.
Webinar,
Perfect.
an innovative learning app that makes math fun and engaging for students of all ages and levels. With Math Arena, you can learn math anytime, anywhere, and at your own pace. The app offers a wide range of interactive exercises and mini-games that cover various math topics. What sets Math Arena apart is its adaptive difficulty feature. The app uses an advanced algorithm to automatically adjust the difficulty level of the questions based on the student's performance. This means that you are always challenged at the right level, ensuring effective learning and avoiding frustration. And the best part, Math Arena is designed to be fun and engaging. With its gamification elements, you can earn rewards and achievements as you progress through the app. These rewards not only motivate you to keep learning, but also help you identify with the new know-how and fill knowledge gaps. Whether you are a student looking to improve your math skills or a teacher searching for a tool to enhance your classroom, Math Arena is the perfect solution. Join the Math Arena community and experience the future of math learning. Download Math Arena today and unlock your math potential. Visit our website at www.matharena.net and start your math journey now.
So, thank you very much for your attention. I hope there were some interesting details for you. In it, here you see our team. We are all motivated to make math more fun and more engaging. and have a high progressed team who are really interested to go on this journey. And we hope some of you are joining by interest and by feedback and so on.
Okay, perfect. You are really in time. Thank you very much, Miss Eva Maria Invanger, for your insightful, wonderful presentation. And as for your information, the two organizer, the two teacher community who organize this event, there are two biggest teacher community in Indonesia. So we are extremely excited and look forward to work in the future with Math Arena to also contribute to the development of digital technology improvement in Indonesia, of course. And once again, thank you very much. And I also very impressed about the tutor AI features. Yeah, it will be really great to try it in the future. And of course, the dwelling versions, look forward for waiting for dwelling version. And if it is possible, Indonesian teachers could collaborate with Austrian teachers and compare
That
the
would be
student.
amazing. So
Iya, it will
yeah.
be Bapak Ibu banyak inovasi baru dari Math Arena dan semoga bisa berkolaborasi ke depannya. And also, I extremely happy I see the feedback from teachers both from Zoom and also YouTube. They extremely happy, and we also have not only Indonesian participant, Miss Invanger, as for your information. So we have some colleagues from Malaysia, and one of them sent a message directly for me, and then he apologized, cannot join in Zoom because he's teaching at this moment. He is lecturer and also a teacher. He really want to implement Math Arena, and we can discuss
Awesome.
it later on with Cikgu Rozaili from Malaysia. I will introduce you to him in the future. And also, dear participants, my beloved Indonesian educators, we will now move into the question and answer session. Bapak Ibu, kita akan masuk ke tanya jawab. So, dear participants, please feel free to type your question in the chat or ask directly, but please unmute your microphone after my permission. So, please activate the raise hand button. Can I say it button? Yeah, raise hand button, and then I will let you to unmute your microphone, and please ask your question to Miss Invanger, and Miss Invanger will address your questions. And let's start with the first two questions. I will choose one from Zoom and one for YouTube to make it in balance, because we have the participant in YouTube reaching 100 teachers. So they are really excited to join our session. So, and we have our first participants who wanted to ask a question. Miss Yuanita Dwi Parasta, we would like to see your beautiful face. So please, if it is possible, please turn on your camera and I will let you to unmute your microphone. Okay. Please unmute your microphone, and if it is possible, please turn on your camera. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you. Okay, first of all, I'm sorry for not turning my camera on. I tried to keep my camera on, but the signal is so weak, so I couldn't hear the presentation properly. I'm so sorry. Okay, my name is Yuanita. I'm a mathematics teacher and school principal in East Lampung. There's so many math games application created to strengthen the student math skill, but in reality, students prefer to use the question answering application rather than strengthening their math skill through this. games application like Math Arena. So how does this Math Arena application overcome this? Thank you.
That's a really good question. I'm not saying we can completely overcome it, but we're lowering the threshold because they know they're kind of cheating if they're getting the answer elsewhere, and they would prefer to really know this. So we have lots of students doing this, finding solutions. In Austria, we have Math 42, for example, or Photomath or other solvers. But during exams, they have to have the knowledge because they can't use those applications then. So they know they are cheating and will get not the good results they could reach. And we are decreasing those students because if I'm solving a math problem correctly, I really get this happy, lucky feeling, this self-efficacy, because I get the concept. And when they are finding out they are able to do it, they really prefer to do the real math and not the cheating way. So again, we won't overcome everything of it, but we are giving them another way to do it because of this adaptive system, because they aren't that overwhelmed and that therefore looking for another way out to solve a problem, but they can stay in this and can move in their own pace they're needing. Does this answer your question?
Okay, thank you very much, Miss Eva. I think your answer is satisfying me enough. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the question. It's a good one, yes. And
Okay,
we're
perfect.
still finding out how to deal with this.
Mhm. Yeah, perfect. Thank you very much. And for your information, Lampung is one of it's not located the same island with me. I live in Java Island, but it's located in one of the biggest island from Indonesia. If you have ever heard about Sumatra Island, so it's close to the Malaya area. Yeah, so Lampung is from Sumatra Island. So we have very diverse participants here, so nearly around Indonesia. And thank you very
amazing.
much, Miss Yuanita, for your questions. Before we move to the next questions, we have some question from YouTube, but I will choose one first. And we have an announcement for the participants about the how to say it in English, the attendance list. Some of you mentioned that you are not allowed to access the list, the link. Bapak Sulistiana, I would like to say in Indonesian, Bapak Sulistiana and also Pak Asra and tim, banyak peserta yang tidak bisa akses link daftar hadirnya karena tidak menggunakan akun belajar.id. Apakah bisa memungkinkan untuk bisa diubah, Bapak Ibu, dari penyelenggara? Terima kasih banyak. Oke. So we will move to the next question. We have the first question from our participant, our beloved participant from YouTube. I will check my list, my notes. Okay. First question is from our Malaysian participant, Cikgu Rozaili Muhammad Ali, and he also very impressed and learned a lot about adaptive learning. He mentioned that he started to understand what does it mean with adaptive learning, and his question is about, it's a bit general question, Miss Invanger. His question is how the Austrian Ministry of Education upgrade the teachers' competency in technologies because technology changes in seconds. because the technology is developing so fast, and how he is interested, wondering about how Austrian government, maybe you have information about the policymaker happening in Austria. Please, Miss Inwanger.
So in Austria, as I mentioned, it's going kind of slow. How we are reaching teachers is by training courses. They tried to make it a duty, obligatory to join such courses, but teachers in Austria don't find the time to do this. And also it's difficult to address all the different needs from those different teachers. But we are trying to provide such teacher training courses they can enter. Especially online webinars are really interesting for them during the evening. Also, we have a virtual video collection, kind of, where those tutorials are collected, and I can pick and choose in my time when I want to learn something. But one main problem or challenge, not a problem, a challenge, I think, is it takes a long time to find teachers who are interested. So now the biggest courses, for example, are GeoGebra. Maybe you know GeoGebra is from Austria, developed in Austria as well. And it took Markus Hohenwarter kind of 20 years to overcome those obstacles. Because the teachers are cautious and because those developments are so fast, it's kind of difficult to find out which applications provide the quality I need during lessons, because I just have in Austria 50 minutes twice a week. That's not much time. So I'm not interested to get to know other features. One example, Kahoot really did the trick because it's easy access. It doesn't take that much time and it's really motivating. And maybe you hear that those were the points I was addressing also, the goals we are looking for. So I don't need time. It is working when I need it, not like laptops doing all the updates during my lessons while I would need it. So I think those are the obstacles technologies have to address, not ministries and not teachers. But we have to find out, and we are currently in a big research project funded by European Union, figuring out how to overcome these obstacles, to communicate with EdTech development teams, to give them this feedback that they need to focus on this, and also this evidence-based access as well. So whole Europe is struggling with this question as well. Yes. And I'm not having the answer, but we are working on a kind of quality questionnaire, for example, to find out if an application is worth a while.
Yeah, great. So it's also not only a big problem for us as developing country, but it's worldwide problem, even though Austria is a developed country, okay? And yeah, and interesting, very interesting. And I think we can move to the next questions, but beforehand, oh ya, from the team, Bapak Ibu dari tim untuk attendance listnya sedang diproses ya, jadi mohon menunggu. And let's move to the next question, Miss Inwanger. We have Ibu Dwi Rahmayani. Ibu Dwi Rahmayani, are you there? Please unmute your microphone. I have already, yeah, Ibu Dwi Rahmayani, thank you very much for turning on your camera, your camera on. I will also spotlight your beautiful face, and please ask to Miss Invanger your question.
Thank you. Terima kasih Mbak Tita.
Ya.
Thank you Miss Eva. Saya pakai bahasa Indonesia aja ya, soalnya nanti salah.
Boleh, nanti saya bantu translate Ibu.
Ya,
Ya.
terima kasih banyak Mbak Tita dan Miss Eva. Presentasinya bagus banget gitu ya. Dan saya sudah buka nih Mbak. Saya nggak nanya ke ininya ya, ke apa? Lebih ke konten. Tapi tadi tuh kalau nggak salah si aplikasinya itu bisa dibukanya di App Store ya.
Iya.
Kalau di
betul.
Android tuh kayaknya belum bisa. Nah ini sementara di Indonesia itu kebanyakan punyanya Android gitu loh. Saya udah buka sih tadi ya di App Store. Itu memang si menu-menunya ya bagus deh gitu untuk anak-anak SD, SMP ya gitu yang masih junior kan. Ada kuis gitu kan. Nah itu bisa nggak itu di Play Store karena kebanyakan orang kita lebih banyaknya pakainya Play Store gitu daripada App Store gitu loh. Nah kemudian ada beberapa konten seperti buku itu nggak bisa dibuka. Apa itu harus berbayar atau bagaimana? Gitu. Saya lebih ke aplikasinya aja. Oke, gitu aja. Mbak Tita and Miss Eva. Thank you.
Ibu, sebelum saya sampaikan pertanyaannya ke Miss Eva, Ibu dari kota mana, Ibu?
Oh, saya dari Purwakarta, Jawa Barat. Kebetulan saya pengurus juga. Saya kemarin ikut Zoom tadi malam sama Ibu juga.
Oh iya, oh iya Ibu, betul sekali.
Iya.
Oke, saya coba translate ke Miss Eva ya. Miss Invanger, so I would like to try to translate Miss Dwi Rahmayani not only about the questions but also her feedback and her impressions on your presentation. She's from Java Island, from West Java. So she is a teacher from West Java area. And she's interested to already implement the activities in the classroom. That's why while following your presentation, she's trying to download the applications. And she's wondering because she faced a problem while downloading from Play Store. Could you please maybe is there any something happen with the application? But I believe it's also provided in Play Store, but she asks about it whether it's provided from Play Store. But after it's provided also in Play Store. But it will be great if you inform her again. And for the second question, when she tried to open the application, she found that there is a book feature. She mentioned about book features. It's not available to be accessed. So her questions: do she need to pay, or there is something happening with the compatibility of her phone? And she also sent gratitude and thank you very much for your time sharing Math Arena and also adaptive learning. Please, Miss
Yang
Invan.
textbook ya, Bu.
Yeah,
Mbak, yang
books.
textbook yang nggak bisa
Textbook.
dibuka. Iya.
Yeah. Please,
Thank you
Miss.
so much for your interest and really looking forward to your experiences and your feedback, how it will work. Maybe one more time, it's important to know it's a beta version. So it's not the final version because we weren't able to do it that fast. So the next month until mid of February, you will see great improvements there. You can download it on App Store, on Play Store. If there are struggles, please contact us via Play Store. We didn't have this until now, so just please contact us via our email address. I showed it on the presentation and also can share it with you. Yes, so that's the first question. And about the textbook, I got the curriculum, the Indonesian curriculum last week from Pastita. And now we are figuring out how to put our content, our tasks into your levels. when I remember correctly, you don't have grades like years to do math, but you have different levels where students can go on, and or phases. And so we will work on it, and maybe it takes 2 to 3 months until we are able to release this. So no, it's not to pay, and it's just isn't there right now because it takes some time to figure out how to take the tasks and fill it in the different phases and how to structure it. But if you already have some interests or input, how we could structure it for you to be helpful and supporting for your lessons, then please let us know. Then we can figure out a way that is most supportive for you as teachers. Maybe one thing, you can switch to the English version in the language button, and there we have a general textbook where you can see how we structured it for the English curriculum. Then you can foresee and get an impression how it will work in the future.
Oke, thank you very much, Miss Invanger. Ibu, do you need me, perlu ditranslate tidak, Ibu? Tapi ini informasi yang because this is very important information to other participants. I would like to also translate and add a brief explanation about your explanation previously, Miss Invanger, if you don't mind. Oke, Bapak Ibu, jadi untuk yang aplikasi khususnya dalam bahasa Indonesia itu memang masih dalam proses pengembangan. Jadi seperti yang tadi sebutkan, ada Ibu Yanti dari Tasikmalaya kan sedang membantu untuk translate dan masih dalam proses. Jadi bukan karena itu berbayar, tetapi karena memang masih dalam proses. Jadi kami akan terus, khususnya Miss Invanger dan tim, sedang dalam proses pengembangan. Nanti kami akan sebarkan berita baiknya, dan apabila nanti Bapak Ibu ketika download ada kesulitan, karena sekarang kan masih dalam beta version, jadi bahasa mudahnya itu masih uji coba begitu Bapak Ibu. Jadi kalau nanti ada kesulitan boleh email ke Mat Arena. Jadi nanti akan kami informasikan email resmi Mat Arena. Begitu Bapak Ibu. Jadi apabila Bapak Ibu tertarik, ada yang versi bahasa Inggris, jadi silahkan buka yang versi bahasa Inggris, nanti fitur itu sudah bisa dicoba, begitu. Begitu Bapak Ibu. Okay, thank you very much, Miss Dwi Rahmayani and Miss Invanger. I think we still have, we are running out the time, but let's finish with one more question, Miss Invanger. Do you still have time for the last question? Because this
I
is
have time, yes.
very interesting and important questions that I get from two teachers. One from YouTube, one sent a message directly by Zoom from Ibu Trian Moon. So we add additional call before our name, like Ibu is for women and Bapak is for men.
Thanks for explaining. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's our way to respect each other, something like that. One from Ibu Trian Moon from YouTube, but also the same question with Bapak Gunawan Marioto from Zoom participant. So I would like to share their questions. Their question is about how could you please give me a simple example how to implement adaptive learning with Mat Arena in classroom practices? So it's like practical question. How do I start? It's very practical question from teachers. How can I start to use these activities, especially for adaptive learning? Please.
Of course. Thanks for this very important question. I tried to put in some ideas during the presentation, but it's good to have a kind of short here again at the end. I have various possibilities to do it. If I don't like technology, I can just suggest them to do it at home if they need support, and they can do it during homework. If I like to more include it in the classroom, maybe afterwards, because then they already know the application, if I don't have the time for explaining it during the sessions, during the lessons, then I have the possibility to show it on a smartphone or a screen, and to take my account, choose a topic, a question, and get kind of randomized question, and I can discuss with them. So I get the task, and then I get the possible answers, and can explain why we chose those wrong answers, and why they are wrong, and why the correct ones are correct. Or I can take another question, and one student is arguing why the first answer is correct or not, and the second student is doing the same for the second possible answer, and so on. Also, I can take a mini game, one which is fitting for my topic I'm working on right now, and lets them discuss in plenum. So the whole classroom is arguing. When we have the dual version, hopefully in spring, then there will be the way to make class challenges. So I choose a mini game, for example, or maybe hopefully also a quiz, display the QR code, and then each student is getting the same question, and then we see kind of like Kahoot, which students were the best, or where they are located in the whole classroom. And fourth version I already mentioned is they have devices, and 2 or 3 students are discussing a quiz. So they can go in their path, because if they have finished one quiz, these 10 questions, then they can restart in the same topic. And some are doing just one quiz, as in 10 tasks. Others are doing in the same time kind of 3 quizzes, for example. And they can take different approaches. Maybe they're just guessing and finding out, what did I wrong? And trying to reconstruct the concept by the explanations. Others are asking the teacher why this and that is wrong. So I have free time as a teacher and can figure out what are their approaches, how they are addressing the problem, how are they communicating, which terms are they using correctly, where are misconceptions. And then I can collect all the questions they've got, for example, by pen and pencil, or pen and paper, sorry, or by doing screenshots, for example. Also, I can let them learn at home, and they can send me the screenshots for questions they were struggling with, or overwhelmed by, and so on. So just some ideas. And we're still working on with the teachers in Austria, and hopefully now also Indonesian and Malaysian teachers as well.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Of course, Indonesian teachers are open to conduct innovative, and they are very happy to learn something new. I believe in that. However, we are running out of time, so we are approaching the end of this webinar. I truly apologize, dear participants. I cannot let you continue to answer the questions, but I think in the future, I believe you will have opportunity. And thank you very much for your kind attentions. I would like to also extend my not only but our Indonesian community teachers here, educators in Indonesia. So I'd like to extend our gratitude on behalf of the teachers in Indonesia to Miss Eva Maria Invanger for sharing her expertise on Math Arena and adaptive learning, how to be more not only innovative, but also try to be more understood the students' way of thinking, and also how to utilize digital technology in mathematics classroom. And dear participants, please remember, this is just beginning. This is not the end. This is not closing ceremony. This is just beginning for our journey with Math Arena. I believe in that. Jadi Bapak Ibu, ini semuanya baru permulaan. Jika Bapak Ibu nanti tertarik, silahkan bisa menghubungi Miss Eva Maria atau dari community FKN dan MN. Silahkan dari tim FKN dan MN. And I would like to also share, let's keep, I just want to say that let's keep the conversation going and continue exploring the possibilities it brings to mathematics education, Miss Invanger, especially to Indonesian and Southeast Asia, because we have also Malaysian participant here. It's unexpected, unpredictable, but we are happy. We are truly grateful, and we are honored to have Miss Invanger in this webinar, education webinar. And again, thank you very much to the participants for joining us today, for your positive feedback, for your questions, active participation, and as on behalf of the organizer, Forum Komunikasi Nasional, and also Matematika Nusantara, FKN MGMP Matematika and Matematika Nusantara. We look forward to seeing you in future webinars. Have a wonderful day. See you in the next event. Last but not least, as a moderator, I'd like to say thank you very much for Forum Komunikasi Nasional MGMP Matematika, Pak Nur Aziz, Pak Asra and team, for Matematika Nusantara, Pak Fatkur, Budiah and team, for organizing, especially we have Pak Sulistiana, Bu Rita, Bu Dwi Karyati, and Bu Dwi Rahmayati, and others who support us as Master of Ceremony, host, and also dealing with a lot of participant registration and etc. And I'll give the time back to the host. So I'll give the screen back to the host and MC, to Pak Sulistiana and Burita. Thank you very much and see you again.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, the attention, and the organization and everything.
Thank you very much, Miss Eva and Miss Tita. Hopefully there will be an opportunity to learn again. Good luck. Terima kasih atas paparannya yang luar biasa. Juga dari Miss Eva, ya, semoga kita masih ada kelanjutannya, ya. Dan saya mohon untuk Miss Tita, ya, mungkin peserta mengharapkan juga kalau bisa share materi hari ini. Syukur-syukur udah ditranslate ke dalam bahasa Indonesia. Iya. Oke, ya. Baiklah, sebelum acara ini kita tutup, barangkali dari pihak host mau ada sesi foto bersama. Pak Asra.
Ya, baik. Terima kasih. Terima kasih,
ya.
Bu Tita,
ya.
Eva, dan Tita. Sebelum diakhiri, ini akan dilakukan foto bersama. Nanti akan dipandu oleh Bu Dwi Karyanti. Gitu ya. Baik, sebentar.
Miss Infanger, I guess you can guess what Mr. Sulistiana said. We will have the other important session, documentation,
Yes.
photo
Oke.
session.
Oke. Silakan Bu Tri Karyanti untuk memfoto ya. Dari halaman pertama ini ada 18 halaman Bapak Ibu ya.
Insyaallah.
Oke. Ya.
Documentation, photo session.
Silakan Bu Tri Karyanti. Baik. Halaman pertama sudah, kemudian halaman kedua, ya, halaman ketiga,
Ketiga, Pak.
ya sudah.
Ini ketiga ya?
Oke, ini saya sudah sampai ke 4.
And we have long queue. There are nearly 18 pages.
Iya.
Tahan ya Bapak Ibu senyumnya ya.
Kesuwen Bu Tri.
Ditahan
Ya.
pelajaran. Tahan ya Bapak Ibu senyumnya ya.
Kesuwen Bu Tri.
Tahan pelajaran. Ya. Sudah belum Mbak?
Baru 10.
Lagi?
Ya.
Baik Pak, lagi Pak.
Ya. 12.
Mana kok nggak berubah-berubah tempat saya ya?
Yang nggak tahu. Ini di tempat saya sudah.
Ini kalau dari apa? Dari pembicara itu memang terlihat ya Pak sampai halaman-halaman selanjutnya.
Bisa terlihat.
Bisa terlihat, Mbak.
Oh ya, berarti memang beliau memang harus menunggu ya.
Ya, harus sampai halaman seisinya.
Oke, baik.
Sulit untuk bisa berubah di halaman.
Oke, while waiting,
sambil
Miss
ngobrol mau
Maria.
silakan.
Iya Ibu, saya menanyakan yang tadi materi ke Miss Infanger ya sembari menunggu ya Ibu. Miss Infanger, there is a last question from the committee. They ask about your presentation PPT. Is that possible to share the PPT with notes? With notes, they ask my help to translate it. Are you allow if I put additional translation maybe in the notes?
Ya.
Of course.
Okay.
Yes.
Sudah selesai.
Oh, perfect.
Saya belum selesai, Pak.
Nah, saya sudah. Sudah
Sudah diambil.
18.
Tanya diambil.
Sudah semuanya.
Oke.
Pak Sulis Kerjuk.
Oke. Mbak Tita masih ada yang mau disampaikan?
Sudah Ibu, jadi nanti untuk pertanyaan yang terkait PowerPoint presentation, nanti akan saya minta ke Miss Infanger dan akan saya bantu translate sebelum saya share ke Bapak Ibu panitia.
Oke, terima kasih Mbak. Ya. Alhamdulillah ya, acara demi acara sudah kita lalui dan alhamdulillah juga kita sudah mendapatkan wawasan yang sangat berharga, yang luar biasa ya. Semoga apa yang kita dapatkan di hari ini berkah dan dapat diaplikasikan dalam kehidupan sehari-hari, terutama kepada peserta didik kita di sekolah ya. Sebelum saya akhiri, banyak salah dan hilap dari saya dalam membawakan acara. Mohon dimaafkan dan akhir kalam saya tutup dengan wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Sebelum saya akhiri, banyak
Terima kasih Bapak Ibu.
sama-sama. Terima
Ya,
kasih
terima
Mbak
kasih
Tika,
Eva,
ya,
Miss
Pak
Tita. Sampai
Sulis,
jumpa
Pak
lagi
Uli.
di
Thank you,
kesempatan.
Terima
Monggo,
kasih
Bapak
Mbak
Ibu.
Tita.
Kuliah untuk absen gimana Pak Sulis? Sebagian ada yang belum bisa absen.
Sudah,
Pak Asra sudah
sudah Bu, sudah yang Gmail juga sudah bisa akses. Oke, jadi nanti untuk link presensi kita buka sampai pukul 18. Bapak Ibu, nanti setelah pukul 18 nanti akan ditutup oleh Pak Asra. Ya.
Tambahan Pak Sulis sertifikat jangan minta sekarang, belum lah.
Belum. Monggo Pak Asra silahkan, mungkin ada yang ingin ditambahkan.
Ya, Bapak Ibu sertifikat tentu belum ada sekarang. Nanti kita janjikan besok kalau selesai. Kalaupun bukan besok, kita di tanggal 19. Sekarang belum siap sertifikatnya. Karena akan dicek dulu di datanya baru bisa dibuatkan sertifikat. Kemudian sertifikatnya disimpan di Google Drive. Nanti linknya akan di-share di grup WA. Oke, itu saja Pak Sulis. Terima kasih.
Baik. Ini Bu Ratih ada yang raise hand, silahkan Bu Ratih.
mic-nya belum dinyalakan Ibu.
Sudah.
Makasih Pak Asra. Dari kemarin nggak bisa juga masuk ke grup WA itu kenapa ya Pak? Gagal terus gitu.
Dari kemarin kapan nih?
Penuh ya. Di webinar itu kan ada grup WA-nya, nggak bisa masuk.
Ya.
Apa di grup kita yang ketua bukan?
Jadi kalau masuk grup itu karena kita menyeting WA-nya kita dengan menolak ke dalam begitu. Settingan WA-nya kita itu, WA-nya Ibu sendiri itu menyeting agar WA-nya Ibu itu tidak boleh masukkan oleh orang lain dalam grup tentu. Itu ditolak dia.
Oh gitu.
Biasanya begitu.
Jadi,
ya. Settingan WA-nya Ibu sendiri.
Oh, settingan saya ya Pak?
Iya, benar.
Saya coba nanti buat.
Baik.
Makasih Pak.
Terima kasih.